Right, there we go. Game 2 of the Winners Bracket Finals. We have uThermal versus Jona once more after what was, well, to describe uThermal's Marine Micro in the last game, disgusting. As a Zerg player, I hate him with a passion now. Of course, Jona, he really did, well, keep up in terms of production, just kept throwing it up. But yeah, just the Banelings weren't enough. There should have been something more substantial to the army. The commit to the Mutalisks, they never really came into their own because they just ran into the dire counter and not the amount of harassment you want from those. Eventually he should have gone maybe for roaches and tried to, you know, put some meat in the army, because the Zerglings, the problem with Zerglings is they're cheap, but it also costs lava, and after a while you're just not going to keep up. The injects are just not going to keep up, especially if you lose one in the bases that were so heavily contested. So yeah, now on the Onsu, this is cross position, which means again we're gonna see a lot of heavy production. It's a long way around, so I'm really curious to see how Jona's actually going to deal with this. We've got the wall in here for thermal. I'm gonna just remove the players there for a second and straight for the refinery. So yeah, straight for that Reaper. And yeah, I'm just waiting out. There you go, you've got the expansion. Yeah, you need to kind of do this. Well, I say that Yonsu is cross position. I mean, of course, that's a diagonal pathway across the map, which takes a bit longer than most maps. But yeah, SCV's being built. What we have the barracks, and immediately, no, we're not going to see immediate 50 gas. We are going to see the orbital first, and then voila, 50 gas gone down the drain for the Reaper, and then closing off with the supply depot. Overlords will probably see the Reaper coming out. Oh, the Overlords spreading around. There you go. We've got a single gas, so we are going to see Speedlings right off the bat, I'm thinking. Spawning pool halfway done. Or, you know, he might go for a fast lair, I don't know. There we go, second Reaper. So yeah, a bit of a commit to Reaper, not just going to scout with that. I'm going to try and keep the Zerg economy lower. Or just, you know, be playing annoying until the Queens come out, which is exactly going to happen now. 17 gas, so still have to wait a little bit. Timing is not quite right, but that's alright. 2 Queens, that is what we need. And then it's going to time up perfectly, 100 and 100 for the metabolic boost. Yay! And already the Reaper's in. So the Queens aren't done yet, so we have, oh, the Zerglings there, so with a little bit of micro. Needs to be careful not to get surrounded. Second Reaper's gonna be on the way shortly. Yeah, shooting the that might take a while, actually. Yeah, still got, you know, did almost 100 damage here. There's the Queen now, get out. Alright, second Reaper there. But at this point, the Zerglings are awaiting. So he might actually be able to take out this Queen if he's careful with the micro. That might... Hey, dude. Zerglings, please help this Queen. It's gonna go down. Hello? Yeah, there you go. Yeah, 18 HP. So... a little bit of a threat. Alright. The injects are done now, so what are we going to see production-wise? Metabolic boost almost done now. Another Queen as well. Are we gonna see, I don't know, a descent back into roaches perhaps? I don't know. No, there's absolutely no gas whatsoever being produced, so I think we might see a lot of droning first. Meantime, in the Terran area, we have a starport. And we have Hellions. And we have 2 gas pumping out, and the expansion also almost up, so, yeah, we are going to see Banshees, I think. That's going to be interesting. Considering the unrelenting production of Queens here for a moment. No, that's actually not true what I said. There's only 3. And the one's very damaged to actually replace them. But we have the third base up. Third base versus early aggression. Well, early, I say mid-game. Because there's going to be the Hellion Arrest. There's going to be the Banshee. There's going to be the Cloak. The Lair, Spore Crawlers, anything to deal with that? Please? He's really... Jonas really pedestrianly building up his forces here, but there's gonna be quite some harassment soon. There's a spine crawler there, alright. I don't know if he spotted anything like that, no. So he got no spots off at all. And now the Hellions are gonna come in, and he didn't even see the Hellions move out here. Together with the remaining Reapers. I don't know if the Banshees, hang on. Yeah, it's early in the morning, yeah, the Banshee's out as well. Here they go, and it's, yeah, there's nothing going to be here. That third's going to have to be defended, but the rocks are going to be broken. It's going to take a while still, because there's only, well, you can see now, there's only 6 lings. Production, come on, 12 lings on the way, but that's not going to be enough to deal with this. These aliens with a little bit of micro, and with the Banshee backing up. This is not good. There we go, got Queens coming in. Need to be careful with these still. Speedlings. Oh dear. Bit of a taking a lot of damage here, but the Queens are still there. Transfusing it. Banshee's got foot. He's going to abandon that because he doesn't have any meat in the army left, but the Banshee could theoretically still do something here. 2 more Queens on the way to deal with the Banshees, and +1 armor and attack for melee. Meanwhile, we've got the switch, so no more Banshees here. We go straight for Thors. Okay, that'll bring some meat. So yeah, we're gonna see mech play here, which is kind of strange. After the Queens getting transfused, aliens are gonna be. There's too many Queens here now, and the Banshees, yeah, because there's a Spore Crawler here, so they actually are now denied area access to the third. This is actually good. I thought for sure this was gonna go down, but apparently there was no commit on the Banshees. So if he would have done that, if it would have been more than 1 or 2, it might have been taken out. But the Hellions, of course, not really good for raising buildings. Alright, so right now, what do we have? We have these Thors in production. Hang on. He's supply blocked himself with that one, yeah, that's... I mean, supply-wise, they're almost equal here, but still, there is some direct countering going on. The Queens aren't going to do much against the Thors, and the Hellions don't do much against the Queens. We've got a Viking now. Does he know something I don't? Oh, we've got another hatchery. We've got Banelings. We've got a lair almost done, but that's... Oh, the push is actually going... There we go. Slowly supply blocking a little bit. That's a lot of Zerglings, but that Thor behind those Hellions not gonna do anything. Needs to be really careful he does not get caught out of position. A couple of the Hellions go down, and the Queen's focus, and there's actually a transfuse chain a little bit, but the Queen does go down here. Thor already done for 5 kills. Needs to be really careful with these Hellions. He's trying to get to that mineral line, but still there's enough units to actually keep him back. The Vikings actually running. Oh no 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 no! This is not gonna be good. That's painful. A lot of the Zerglings just in the nick of time gonna pick off these Hellions, and then we have a problem. Once the Hellions are down, the Thor doesn't have anything to say to those Zerglings. That was a bit dangerous. He really wanted to go for some drone kills. Now, Harvester-wise, he's now 10 drones, 15 drones behind. And now a counter actually with the Lings. The Vikings, not really the best unit to use here, and the Thor either. There's no Hellions to back up all of these Zerglings against these Zerglings. Still gonna hold that, but Jesus. No, actually, they're still here. There's nothing, you can't, it's so sad. Now they're gonna get slowly one shot by the Thor, but Jesus, I think the Harvester count is now equal again. Just off a couple of Lings. Okay, fine, they're 1-1, but still, I mean, he's still going for those Thors though, he's still producing them. And he needs Hellions. He needs another factory. He needs something because there's gonna be a commit to these Lings and Banelings. This is why you had the Marines earlier, dude. This is why you need them. Infestation Pit, Roach Warren. Now we're gonna get some meat in the Zerg army. We're not gonna see the Mutalisks like before because, well, yeah, there's already Thors. Unlike before, there are already Thor. And yeah, Again, uncontested in the mineral line. What the hell? Because there is no mobility in this army. And look, this is a massacre. The missile turret going down completely. There you go. Now we have the Hellbats. That's what we needed. More factories, Hellbats on production. But now, again, there's only there's 20 difference in SCVs. It was a complete massacre. He does just need the mules, though. Do mule. Because he needs to get some minerals to get those Hellbats in. Otherwise, it's going to be... Oh, there are Mutalisks. Why? To go behind enemy lines, and I wouldn't have done that. There's Vikings and Thors in the field. I didn't even see the Spire go up. Why would you do that? Things were doing fine. Yeah, he is gonna go for that, but yes, you can beat Thors with Mutalisks, but at tremendous losses. There's actually no turret here, so that's kind of good, but needs to be really careful with the range of that Thors. And in the meantime, we have the fight being taken here to the Queens and the Spine Crawlers. The Thors, and then actually a tank that's already killed 2. Oh, it's got 4 HP and it's still alive! It's actually still going, and that's a big deal. Now finally gonna get taken out, but that did too much. In the meantime, we've got the Mutalisks actually just going to... There's no turrets here. I thought there would be turrets. There was the one in the third, but no, that expansion's gonna go down. But I don't think it's gonna matter. There's only like there's only 30. So many workers lost. Look. Oh dear, there's only 30 SCVs. Finally, those Mutalisks are they still alive? Or finally, no, there's only 2 left. They're actually still being annoying under the supply depot here. But this is not the unrelenting push. Not the quality of the unrelenting. We have a lot of Hellbats now, though, but we have Swarm Hosts. Swarm Hosts are good, and we have a lot of Roaches, and Hellbats don't do shit against Roaches. They might do something against... Well, yeah, it might take out the expansion here, but it's not going to matter at this point. Just straight up push in the main, and... yeah. Some Lings, some Roaches... Well, or the Swarm Hosts, you know, Roaches or Swarm Hosts, whatever. And this is 2 Thors, it's not going to do anything against this. Carry counter or not on the tank either. That's just going to get wiped off the face of the planet. Yeah, so the... Bit of a strange decision from Thermal here. And I don't agree with the Mutalisks. They did... I mean, yeah, right, they did well. There was an advantage there. They did a lot of that economic damage, I will agree, actually. But it's just kind of weird. Just to go straight up. When he made them, there were Vikings and Thor still. You'd think after taking them down. And actually, no GG at all from Thermal, just leaving. Wow. Okay. Ballsy third base. Saturated it nicely. Weathered the storm a little bit. I mean, at the start, it was... really touch and go. If those Hellions would have stayed alive and were not separated going for the drones here, that push could have taken down that base. I think maybe if it was reinforced, maybe if the Banshees were committed. I don't know. It's just the little things, but in the end, Jona's economy didn't get scratched, and Thermals just got systematically dismantled by first just that run by Lings was just unnecessary. It was there suddenly, and there was nothing to counter it. There were no Hellions. Anyway, onwards to game 3. I like it when there's series of 3.